Good afternoon and welcome to another Fast Markets session. You have myself, Coach Igor, in the house, and also Scott is here as well with us today. Let's do the usual quick sound check to make sure that everything is a-okay, and then we may proceed with the live trading session stream this afternoon or this morning, whatever you may be. Hello, Scott. Can you hear me?
Hello, hello. Yes, I can hear you perfectly. And let me know if you can hear me as well.
Yeah, perfect. Sound is good. Everything is good. Good stuff. All right. So, hello everybody. Let us know in the chat if everything is fine from your side there. Yeah, another session. These are for this month of November. Actually, September. I was going to say September, but yeah, for this this month of November, we are hosting all of our live trading streams live publicly on YouTube. And it's just to bring you all what we do week in, week out over at Chart Champions, where we go a few times a week, live trading the markets with you all, our members. So yeah, yesterday we had another session, Power Hour, that was really good. Yeah, today we'll be here for a couple of hours. So if you have any questions, please pop them in the chat. Happy to go over those. We'll primarily focus on ES and Q and also BTC, because obviously BTC is at 91,000 or 90k, which is nice to see this nice bull market come to fruition after such a long period of just nothing. We have nice volatility in the markets. We had PPI earlier. I'll let Scott cover that if you are prepared. If not, then I can go over that very quickly.
Yes.
But yeah, very good to be here as always. And yeah, let's find some setups during this afternoon or morning, wherever you are. And yeah, hello everybody. We have quite a few people in the house. Please smash those likes. Pop in the questions. Yeah, happy to help. And yeah, take it away, Scott.
Yeah, well, thank you. That was a beautiful introduction, Coach
Thank
Igor.
you.
And one quick question for you before we get into it. So I'm looking at the YouTube video now, and it's not playing yet. It's actually just saying waiting for Chart Champions. So I'm not sure that we're running the video on YouTube. Do you see something different from your end?
I can see the chat, and yeah, the video is there. Yeah, let me just play it back.
One quick question for you before.
Yep,
Maybe it's just on my end.
It is playing.
Cool.
Yeah, it's there. Let me just refresh my
Right.
end.
There we go. Yep, I see it now. I was
You see on the wrong one,
maybe
or?
on a different video. Yes, but anyways, we can get back to it. I think there was another video out there. Yes, I definitely see the chat now.
Yeah,
Good
it is.
morning.
Yeah, all good on YouTube.
It's
Yeah, that's
going. Yeah.
that. I was. You got me there for a second. I was like, yeah, no, it is working. We are live.
Yeah, yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, we are live. Cool. I mean, obviously, I've got my Trading View app. I've got my Quant Hour app as well. So we are live. Everything working beautifully here. Yeah, we can see everything. HM's Woodchopper is in the house. Milo, Pascal, Martin, Norn, Sin, Curtis, Stefan. Oh god, wow. There's quite a few people here. But yeah, let's go. So let's. I'll let you take away now as
Sounds
we've
good.
gone over that hurdle. Everything seems to be okay. And yeah, let's have fun over the next couple of hours. We've got the stock market opening in about 27 minutes. So plenty of time to go over the charts and go over our plan. I've got everything set up. So let's go. Take it.
Absolutely. So this morning, just about 30 minutes ago, we had the producer price inflation number coming in at 0.2%, and that was exactly where it was forecast. So perfectly in line with what the markets were expecting. However, the prior was 0.1%, and so it has slightly ticked up a little bit, showing that producers are paying a little bit more for those goods and services and things they have to do to keep their businesses running. So not the best sign in terms of is the inflation number going down, but also not the worst sign in the fact that it came in as forecast, and also it's not a bad print. It's relatively low given some the ones that we had earlier this year. So I think the market is going to digest this news throughout the New York session. I didn't see a particularly big move this morning in the futures, as we sometimes do see with the uptick in volatility on these red folder news events. But I did see a flush to the downside, a little bit of a peak back up, and then also the start of a little bit of a downtrend here after a uptrend overnight. So what I'm actually looking for today is another ranging day. I know that's going to be a shock for all you guys, but we and gals, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days building a big old range up here. Haven't been able to take the all-time high. Haven't been able to really take anything of substance down to the downside. And honestly, just looking for another range-bound environment here today, trading the key levels that we normally trade: previous day's high, previous day's low, naked and untested value areas. So for me, that is my outlook for today. I actually do see potential for prices to move up into the upper end of the range. And that would be for Nasdaq 21,268 and for ES 6036. I would like to see those areas tested. And if they are rejected, I would take short trades to move back down to the end of the range. And if they are claimed, excuse me, then I've been looking for a new all-time high. And sorry about that. I did not mean sneeze into the
That's all right.
That's my outlook. And I want to say a sincere thank you to everyone who's here joining us this morning. It's wonderful to see you. Good morning. And Severin is here. Coach Severin in the chat. Love to see you.
Hello, my friend. Hello. Perfect. All right, let's go over. So I'll take you over to my chart now, and let's go over. Let's start with. Shall we start with ES? All right, let's start with ES and the daily plan. So this is what I always post in the morning for our champion members. I didn't do. Sometimes I post, sometimes I don't. But typically on BTC, I always post it up there. But let's go, because I was doing the stream today. I thought, okay, well, let's save the goodies for later. So here we go. So ES, you can see here on the left. So this is a bar chart. I'm gonna get, this is a bar chart. I'm using the 8 hour because the 8 hour will represent the whole RTH, or the regular trading hours of the stock market. So you've got day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each bar representing one full session, and you can clearly see that on the daily we are on a 5-day balance, or you can call it a range, where we got the value low, then they're at 6,000, and the value high at 6,035. Point of control right where we are right now. So it's never a good idea to take trades at the point of control. You want to wait for either the high or the low, and then you seek that nice trade. So here's what we have. We have a 5-day balance range. CPI yesterday, PPI today. Nothing is making this market break to the upside or the downside. So we've got the balance guidelines here. We can always follow those. I'm going to zoom in so you can see them for obviously the trading plan. So the idea is, if we do break the high, we want to go with that balance break. Obviously, if we fail, come back inside, then we have to look for the low of the range, which would be the gap filled on there. Inversely, if we go below, touch the gap, come back inside, then we look for the opposite side. So this is the plan. This is what I'm looking for. A little bit more higher time frame. Obviously for today, it can still happen, but we'll just follow price as it comes. We have somewhat kind of like a P-shape profile here on the RTH from yesterday. So I've left the details for a P-shape profile down here. It's not the same during the complete full session, but I tend to like the RTH a little bit better. So here's the formation. You got a long buying tail that was from obviously early, and then we just grinded all the way up to the 6,035. So value is higher still here, or kind of overlapping, to be honest. But in relation to, actually it is overlapping, come to think of it. So we do have a poor high. I feel this is not the best high up here. I'm going to take a look as well on the TPO chart here. So you can see that this high here is kind of like a weak high now, around the 36. So you've got A session, very close to H session. I'm going to expand these two, and you can see right there. So you've got a high. This one is really in close proximity of the 60,036, and then just below 6,035. I'm thinking about BTC being at 60,000, and there you go. So you've got this, which is a somewhat poor high or weak high, because both of them are very close together. So that is something that we could see price target later, should we go back up to the range high. That's something I'm looking for. So we've opened the day inside yesterday's balance or range or value. So far a little bit of chop in here in this overnight session, but yeah, so no gap. We'll be looking at this in a few minutes as well. And yeah, so ES still on that 5-day balance, and I'm just waiting to see what we get later for that nice follow through or rejection and then come back inside. So I've got these levels there. Those are my levels to the upside, so it's 16, 30 and then 50, and then to the downside just below price, and they're all there. We'll be touching those later. But yeah, this morning what I did do is I took the value area low long trade down here. So we hit the value area low trade earlier this morning around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I posted that in our nice coaches channel. So if you're a champion, you probably saw that, but if you're not, I will happily share the post. So I'm just looking for it, and that was around 7:55, but also on BTC, but I'll try and find the other one first. So this is let me find them. I don't think I posted. Oh yeah, I did post it. So let me just bring this back here, and I think I should be sharing this. So there you go. So this is the NQ this morning as we were hitting that value low down here, and I was entering right as we hit that value area low. I was aiming for the value area high, so a complete full rotation, but price fell short just above the high, and that's where I closed my position earlier. And then yeah, so that was on NQ, and we also had a similar trade on BTC. So BTC, this is quite big actually. There you go. So on BTC, and I'll go over that as well. But this was the trade. So we came down. This was quite well, bang on time for me, 7 a.m. So you can see the little the little overnight gap as soon as we open. So that was my plan, to just get in, and then I folded 2 lots up here, and then the rest I got stopped right as it came back down. And I'll show you the chart now in a second. So let's go back to BTC now, go over the plan, and then I'll let you talk for a little bit, Scott. There you go. So here's the so this is the BTC trade. So you can see we had the open, so we flirted all morning, all night during the Asia session, and then this was the place here. So it came back below. There's a little gap here. That's what I got in, and then I actually got stopped as it came back inside on that candle there. So I'm out of this trade now, but still managed to lock some profits there. So a couple of nice trades this morning, and I still feel like this chart wants to push higher. In my opinion. So we have, I'm going to dress this up with some levels. So previous day, here's the previous day levels. So you can see this is the RTH session, and for BTC I've been following the CME for quite some time now because the levels are just very well respected. So you've got the value high, and you can see my alert there to the upside. We have 94, I think that, yeah, 94,050. Yeah, this one here is, I forgot to update this one, which is 92,800. Yeah, that's it. So 92,800 first level, and then the second level there is the high. So we have a weak high up here, and I still feel that BTC will try and seek that high again. This is a poor high. We have still higher highs and higher lows, and my remarks here is that BTC broke, and I need to put a E on here, spelling mistake, broke the 2-day balance. So you can see 1, 2 yesterday. So we broke up, but then we failed to get any more follow through, and we came back to retest that range. So we've spent pretty much the whole Asia session in there. SFP filled the gap. Let me show you the gap on a really small time frame, then you can see it. There you go. So here's the gap. So this is the open, okay? You have a gap, and then obviously during the overnight session, you come back down, you fill the gap, and that's what I was getting in. And that was really nice because it was right at that time where the markets typically have that nice move. I captured this, but then got stopped on the rest as it came back inside, which is a bit annoying because price came a little bit higher, but nevertheless, still a good trade. So yeah, those are my targets. Obviously we had PPI earlier, so we open outside value low, as you can see there. So we opened down here, value low is up there, and we kind of look at that, look at the respect of the time value area low from yesterday's RTH session. You have once, twice, 3 times on value area low. So if we can accept in here, which we are, by the way, we're building value in here, there's nothing stopping this chart from going all the way back up to value high, because we are now flipping that level there. So pity I got stopped. That would have been a nice trade. So from the low, potentially all the way up to the high. So yeah, let's try and find another entry on BTC to push this higher, because when you zoom out, and for that I'm going to use a different chart, I'm going to go highs and lows, and I'm going to hide everything else or delete. Let's go to a 15 minute and let's zoom right out. And then here you can see, so this is BTC CME. So we've got the big gap down here, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, potentially another higher high. And let's look for a back test of 90,000 to 90,500 to have that continuation higher, and go and tap the high. Or should we fail here, then yeah, one can anticipate this to then come back down and test the lower levels. I've got 88, 85, and then 82. These are all very nice confluent levels with other technical tools that we use. But I mean, look at that, still on that nice, beautiful uptrend. So this is not bearish, this is still bullish. There are shorts to be taken, but you have to be really greedy with your profits and take profits as you see. And that's it. So that's a good rundown on BTC, NQ, NES, the trades I took today. Any questions? Welcome.
Excelente.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, my friend. Can you do me a favor and go on the Nasdaq chart and take a fib from the all-time high down to the current range low? Tell me what you see in terms of the 0.75.
All right, so I'm on the NQ. And then okay, you want me to zoom in? I'm on a daily. Daily is okay, or lower time frame?
Daily would probably be fine. Yeah.
You know what? It's nice to sometimes go onto a daily chart. Look at that. That looks beautiful for more continuation higher. Really, really nice. In fact, while I'm here, before I do what you asked me, let me just have a quick look at something here.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Oh, Lord, that's amazing. Look at that. So the arrival candle, we kind of like bouncing from about 50%. That is nice. Sometimes it is good to zoom out a little bit. Look at that beautiful swing low. If you're not familiar with the fractal by William, the fractal, let me just, there you go. So this one just look at that beautiful formation there. So this is nice. I like that. Anyway, so fib from high to low or low to high?
From the all-time high to the current range low, to that fractal low.
So 2154, yeah? And you want me to do what, the range .25?
Yeah.
I mean, so that high there at 221, 26, what's that, 269?
269. Yes, that's where I'm looking for today. I'm looking right at that previous day high on top of that 0.75, because we have some beautiful resistance right there. We did barely just miss it yesterday. I do feel that's a nice area for the bulls to try and push through, but if they are unable to, that is most certainly where the bears are going to step in today. And if you look on ES, we actually have the exact same thing. We have a fractal high printed to the upside. Now we have a fractal low printed on the downside. So it's really a matter of consolidation, and we have to see which side is willing to take the lead here. Bulls or the bears. I think truly Bitcoin may even be, I want to speak too soon, but may even be leading this market higher now that these indices are a little bit exhausted. But we'll watch the market here today and see what stocks are doing as well. Someone was asking us yesterday, do we actually pay attention to stocks? And absolutely we do. We're looking at the Magnificent Seven. We're watching some of our favorite names like Coinbase and Tesla and Amazon and NVIDIA, and watching how these stocks are driving these markets up and down. And it's been quite a wonderful journey here. So we'll see what we get today. And we have actually now 12 minutes until the market's open.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we always look at the Google and NVIDIA. Obviously, I should swap NVIDIA now with Apple, because NVIDIA has surpassed Apple in terms of like market cap. So I should really swap these two. But we've got Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, Meta, Tesla. And obviously, I always take a look at the SPY, which is obviously the composite of all of those stocks combined together, and the ETF. But yeah, no, that's very well said. I like that range tool. I mean, if you're not familiar with this, and I can see maybe the newer traders looking for the fib pull that I just did. So from obviously the high down to the low, they're probably wondering if that's not how you pull a fib, but that's not important with this tool. So this fib tool is more to check the range. So we've anchored the range high and the range low, and we're looking for this as a split quadrant. So we want to see this as a risk to reward tool. And for example, we wouldn't need an RSI or a MACD to tell us that we are literally in the midpoint of the range. So once you get to the top of the range, RSI will be definitely overbought, and once you get to the bottom of the range, RSI will be definitely oversold. So it's just a very quick, simple tool to determine, okay, where are we, as in the asset class that we're looking at, in relation to value, really. So if you're done here, obviously that's nice, because if you're going to take a long trade, you've got 1, 2, 3 to the upside, as well as when you get up there, then you have a brand new trade, because then your risk is better to the downside. And this is why markets love to stay in those ranges, which we call them obviously balance. So this is the balance. Market is trying to look for that catalyst to get out of this balance. But yeah, I do like those fib tools. And look at that, we literally front run the 6003 this morning around 7 a.m. But that would have been a perfect touch. But yeah, you've got weak highs up there. So this high, that one there, it's looking very juicy for a nice push. So 8 minutes, let's see what happens. The channel tool, 0.25. Nice.
Beautiful. Just answering a few of these questions here. And the one question I'm looking at now is, has Igor stopped using XO and Attis? And how did he get all of that in TradingView? Yes, that's right. He's not using XO and Attis officially, well, I mean, or a lot anymore. We're now using Quantower. However, Coach Severin's still using Attis and Coach Daniel's still using XO, so it's they're still available templates and everything. But for TradingView, it's seeming like they're doing some really good updates. I don't know if you want to show off some of those beautiful updates. You've got TPO in there, you've got clusters in there. Really
yeah,
wonderful.
I mean, this is it. Like, if you speak to any trader, I would say majority or pretty much everybody that you talk to in the industry, they're all using TradingView. I mean, most of them. You'll hardly find anyone that doesn't have TradingView. And TradingView is really like a one-stop shop. You can apply your trades, you can connect your brokers, you can really do your normal trading as you would. You can connect AMP accounts, anything really. So you have all of that to your disposal, but then you have all of the footprints that they've been adding. So for example, for BTC, I mean, this is the Delta, and I've got it all saved with templates for the indicators and then templates for the chart itself. So for example, if I want to look at BTC on a tree view with, for example, the market profile, where I can just zoom in and say, okay, where's value? Well, higher. Okay, that's fine. And you can mark the value low. There you go. There's the 82,800-ish. That's where that nice support comes in at, for example. And then, okay, let me look at just the RTH bars, which is the real or the regular trading hours. And then you can come here and just select those. So TradingView is really upping their game for a nice rounded software. And then also with the new TPO version that they've released, I think it was last year, STPO, you can then break the sessions down. So now you can do one for RTH, one for the overnight. You can hide the bars or the candles or whatever you call them, and everything else, and then you have an absolute beast of profile, because now what you can do is, all right, in RTH, like the regular trading hours, what is the market actually doing? Well, for now, we are still trending higher, as you can see there. So TradingView is really coming together really nicely. I like it. And then, for example, you have, this is the clusters, CVD, line, as well as, the difference, the net, and then the volume one as well. So I've got all of this for BTC, more importantly, because I really like to follow, where the silly bears and silly bulls are. If you follow along, you know exactly what that is. And then the market profile. So really, for me now, the only thing that this doesn't have is the accuracy of, like, for example, a DOM surface, which is very similar to a book map, where you can actually see the real liquidity, the tape, which is the time and sales. The DOM, we have it on TradingView, so it's okay. But I feel software like this on Quantower and Atlas, for example, have a little bit more depth to it, and you can really, shine a little bit more by using that real-time data. And the TPO, I mean, hands down, like amazing. You can expand. You've got so much information that you don't quite get in TradingView, but it's very, very close. Like all the values, all of the levels are becoming very, very close together. But I feel this is just a little bit more advanced. So, for me, I found my home on TradingView with all the different templates. If I want to keep an eye on the Max 7, I've got always this screen separate on a different screen. If I want to look at the calendar for the economic calendar, I can, just select the day and there you go, there's the data. You can even look at the news flow now. They've got a news flow which just you can put on a different screen and there you go. So it just tells you all of the stuff that it's been going on. But yeah, it's very good. Overall, it's a one-stop shop you can have in different screens. It's just amazing, so I do like it. And while we're doing all of this, the market has been somewhat a little bit quiet, so as soon as I see a trade, I will share with you all. So yeah, let's just keep waiting a little bit here.
Yep, 5 minutes until the New York Open. And just reading through some of these wonderful comments. People are very interested in the TPO and on TradingView. Would you mind actually showing your settings really quick so people can get an idea of what settings you've got? Yeah, I know some people would really appreciate.
Yeah, let's go with BTC. So this is BTC, the RTH, and the overnight session. So obviously always pop the candles. You can hide the candles. So what I've done here is a little trick. You can go onto the holo candles here. So I've got it as saved, but obviously in the settings, I've got them grayed out. So you don't actually see the candles because sometimes it doesn't really matter what the candles are. It's more of like, okay, what is the profile telling us? In other words, value. Where is value? And this is BTC. Clearly, value is higher. So that's what I do. It's just a little tip, but you can have your bars or candles, green and white and yellow, whatever colors you fancy. I like them black and white because it's neutral. I don't care if it's bullish or bearish. I just want to see the location and what confluences we have there. So, I went for a neutral sort of like color, but more importantly, I love the bars. The bars gives me everything I need to know. But yeah, so the settings for the TPO, I'm just going to hide this. So I've got the overnight session, which is obviously just the ETH, and you can just copy whatever you got here, electronic trading hours. And then for the regular session, you got this time zone here. So those are the settings. Obviously, you've got the different settings inside. But yeah, that's it for the settings. But there you go. I mean, this morning was really good. I mean, it was so nice to see that bouncing from that little gap this morning, and that was, I mean, literally got that nice low there, which was really good. I mean, look at that. It's so cool to see the respect. So I was buying that.
And your TradingView templates are very popular. I think I know why, because they're beautiful, and you spend a lot of time perfecting these, and we really appreciate you for sharing them with us. And someone's asking, are these available? Yeah, these are available to all of our champions and contenders members, chart champions. So one of the many benefits you get, not only being able to listen to Coach Igor explain and elucidate on these templates, but actually being able to watch him use them day to day. It's been a real pleasure for me. I've actually added some of these to my own arsenal, my own toolbox, and yeah, they're pretty amazing. Especially TradingView. It's been one of my favorite tools for a long time, but it's been very basic. And now they're starting to add some bells and whistles, and it's really getting good. So I've been loving that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, look, and this is the difference. Like, for example, this morning when I fired this up like really early, I noticed price coming down to the value area low. Well, clearly you don't want to short like NQ. On a short NQ as it's approaching that, and I can again hide the candles here. So where's the there? So I can hide this, and you can see that price is coming down to that naked or untested value area low, and you've seen the respect before. Boom, bounce. Boom, bounce. Well, today is no different. Comes to a level, let's take a little trade. And then that's why I locked, I think it was in the end $1,200. But that is the confluence. By having a properly organized setup, you are able to be in sync with these markets. So, comes down to your level. Here's the trading panel. The trade, is just here. You just, pop your trade, get your risk to reward there, and that's it, done. And then obviously if you have another platform, you can trade on another different platform. It just works really well. So yeah, I'm happy to share all of this because I just think it makes it easier. So to be successful, you want to have a nice clean environment, and I think this is it. It's just super clean. And then you can go over to your higher time frames and do your analysis, carry the levels forward, and then just focus on that trading panel where you apply your trades. This is the clusters. You can see now the market really trying to push. 20 seconds left. And I'll go over to your screen and we can focus for the next few minutes.
Sounds great. New York Open here. 16 seconds. It should be a fun one today. See, it's got an inside session on the overnight session. So I haven't broken the previous day's highs or lows. So my trepidation about a long here is that we're opening up beneath the VWAP. We did have a push down on those news events. Okay, New York is open. Let's see how we do here.
Okay, it's trying to push into yesterday's initial balance high. So let's see if it sticks. Quite a lot of selling here. You can see on the tape 132, 135, 138, all on the sell side. You can see that on your channel there as well. Yeah, instant move back up.
Pushing. Yep.
NQ still pushing as well. BTC.
Yeah, NQ pushing really hard.
NQ is really pushing. Look on NQ, they look like they want to sweep that overnight high. I mean, coming into the 70s and 80s resistance now. But it looks like they want to go and clean those highs up there. We can get a nice pullback. Maybe we can jump into a long trade and go with them. But I just don't like to go when the move is already extended like that. But yeah, perhaps
especially on the open, because it can just keep extending up or down. So it's really a matter of a little bit of patience here this morning, waiting for one of those key levels, because we're kind of in between some key levels now. If we got VWAP in between, overnight low below, overnight high above. So being patient here on my end.
Exactly. Okay, so a little pullback.
Yes, Portia, I see your question. Let me ask that in a few moments, because I think that's a really, really good question, but I want to wait until we have a few moments here to focus on the charts. So thank you, Portia.
Okay, ES is kind of forming a little round here. Just seeing if there is a little trade that we can take. Going to zoom right in. Come on. Give us a little setup.
And you're looking at ES?
Looking at both ES and NQ. Together.
Okay.
So that little move up to the 20s on ES, it was the range point of control for the 5-day balance. We're really in the middle, so it's honestly really up for grabs. So maybe we can try and trade with value today, just to see while we're still in this little range. I mean, let me just have a look. Yeah, we're kind of like right in the middle. Yesterday's open as well, so price might stick here for a little bit. Let's keep an eye on the delta as well.
Taking a long trade here at the retest of the VWAP and the New York Open on NQ.
On NQ.
I stop just below the 1 minute low here, and honestly looking to take out the weekly VWAP, which is at 182. But I have about 160 risk here, so not a sure thing, but just wanted to take a quick swipe here at the open.
I'm going to see if the open holds on ES, and then I'll jump in to a long trade as well. Just need to make sure I've got the, yeah, there you go. So that's nice. Just as an initial test the waters, we're holding the open there. So I've got, because you're on that nice trade on NQ, I've got your screen up. And yeah, we can take some nice a look at the other assets as well, Bitcoin, and maybe another one if we see fit.
That's great.
Okay, yesterday's EQ coming in at 13, so we could potentially go all the way down there and retest that. We already bounced from that earlier during the overnight session. How's your trade going?
It's actually staying in place right now. I want to see a 1 minute close, another 1 minute close above the VWAP. That's not happening right now, so not giving me the highest confidence here. But my stop's in a good place. I'm happy with the trade, so we'll let it run. I'm not gonna cut it short on this one.
Yeah, it's
Anything
a shame.
can happen here.
Yeah, it's a shame on BTC this morning. I got stopped on that little move back because it is really trying to go now from this open, touching 92, 200 now.
Okay, now testing the New York view up.
Nice trade there.
Let's see, get up there. Mhm.
Tum, 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 tum.
Okay, we're back at previous day EQ. I want to see if we hold this.
Nice one. Yeah, we're just
Okay.
trying to push through the open now.
And we're back at daily open, which is a $435 win for me. I just want to lock that in. It's my first trade of the day. I've got a little bit of nerves here, being with all you guys here on YouTube. I'm a little bit nervous. I just wanted to lock in some profits. So my overall target was 183, but I'm happy just to lock in 435 bucks here, to be honest with you.
Nice one. Nice one. And this is it. See profits, take profits. But yeah, we're right in the middle point of the range, also on NQ. So that's yesterday's point of control, 2170. So yeah, it'll be a little bit sticky here. BTC though, looking really good here for still more upside. Those weak highs up there at 94 do look tasty. So yeah, let's keep an eye on everything. See if we can get out of this range here on yes through the 20s and push higher.
I'm actually still in the BTC long from 86,200 from our retest, the CC retest yesterday. And I wanted to compound it, but it actually came over in the middle of the night and got hit my little level where I was interested in compounding. So didn't get into compound, but that's okay. I'm still rocking out a little long on BTC. Honestly, looking for 98,999. That's my target on that one. Just wanted to front run that 100K level, but we'll see.
All right, let's see. What about NQ? So NQ coming back inside now, 55s. I still see this could still pop up to
I think it wants
85s.
overnight high, maybe even previous day value area high, which is coming in around 21,200, which would be a nice round number and a nice place for.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like it wants to still go. Got quite a few levels here. Come on, push, 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 push. And I'll keep an eye on BTC as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm keeping an eye on Ethereum also. We had a huge run up the last couple of days, and it's kind of really slowed down up here at 3,200. So interesting to see if Bitcoin gets going. Will Ethereum also get going? That would be nice. Then the alts maybe can have some fun.
Yeah, it's rejecting here, BTC. I'll keep an eye. See if we can come down to that 90,000, 91.5 now. Take a look at the TPO. Yeah, it's following the markets down. So it looked above the high, 92,100, and sort of like failed. So now we kind of need to make a little swing low here locally. Yeah, it looks like ES wants to come down and retest that 13 level. Keeping an eye. We've got the point of control, EQ from yesterday.
I'm also watching Apple here. It's having a nice move up, potentially looking to take that overnight high, but then it keeps flashing back down. So a little bit of a battle going on here on the stocks. Some are up, some are down. Then a push-pull.
Push-pull, push-pull. Okay, BTC.
I love saying that. That's my favorite. Push-pull.
It is coming in, yeah. Okay, 13s. There's the 13s on ES. Yeah, they were unable. I mean, they didn't even take the high at 20s during this. Yeah, well, they did actually. Yeah, 20. Yeah, that was the yesterday's initial balance high. So they did take that there. Okay. BTC coming back inside completely.
Yes, looks kind of nasty actually. You just touched the 200 SMA and is rejected below the VWAP and the 50. So Nasdaq moving up, so divergence continuing. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but just a theme we've been discussing.
Still scanning. Yeah, it might be the value rotations today if we can hold this 09. So I'm gonna look for this 09 here on ES. 0819s. And yeah, yesterday we did a nice giveaway during our Power Hour session with Severin and yourself. So we have a winner for a nice subscription.
And we will have more in the future coming up very soon. Possibly not today, unfortunately, but definitely later this week and next week for sure.
Yes. Right, so here's the move down. So into those 9s, my level is actually 8. So let's see if we can at least sweep those 9s, come back inside, and then if I take the long trade, I will target the overnight high, which sits just around the 26, 25.5-ish. But we'd have to hold here. So this level. BTC came all the way back in.
And you can see, if you're not used to watching these New York Opens, this is really when the market is digesting a lot of the news that had come in. The New York players who weren't active in the market now can come in and say, okay, this is what we think. This is how we feel about the news. They balance their positions. Maybe they're too long and they're thinking, hey, we need to get short to rebalance a little bit. Could be what's happening here this morning, because NQ is starting to look a little like it has a nice high as well.
Yes. So here's the ES. I'm gonna attempt the long on ES here at the 9s. If I just see this little pullback coming back. So here we go. 08s. It's not quite holding just yet. So no trade yet. Flat. Waiting. Doesn't look like it wants to hold. If it doesn't, then 04s down there, which is the overnight low.
So.
Yeah, I want to be patient here. The volume is still increasing down there. So we've got 1800, 1000, 500. There you go, through at least a level now. At least we've got a little confluence here, which is a 6. So a couple of dollars below the 8s. What's NQ doing? Still pushing down?
Same thing, just moved below the New York Open, below the VWAP, below the value area. So moving into some sell imbalances that we have from overnight.
Yep.
21,100 could be interesting here. Watching that carefully.
There's the 4s on ES, which is the overnight low. Let's see if we can get the move here. Have to go back inside 6.05. Then we can use this as our local stop and do a rotation back up. I can see some bits coming in. Okay, just monitoring here. Yep. Okay, so I will looking. Still no trade. I can share my screen as well while I'm looking.
Yep, sure.
I'll just market buy if we can at least shift this down here. I like the level. Yeah, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put my stop just below the low, just because it's a test. If it doesn't go, then I want to be out of this trade. So I'm risking, let's go over to there. So I'm risking not a lot, but yeah, it's trying, but it doesn't look the best on the 1 minute chart yet. But let's try quick long here.
I still like it. I'm taking one here.
Yeah, it's the balance range low, so technically we should give a little bit more room, but I prefer to get back in if it doesn't work first time around. Yeah, and it looks like they've swept. They're using the 6 as resistance. There you go. So at this point, I want to wait a little bit to see if we come back inside. I've got still the same trade. I don't want to go with the breakdown. NQ is still flirting with the low there. I can see. It looks still bearish there. Let's just wait. 02s. Yeah, they're pushing it lower. 6,000 now. Yeah, and it's annoying that we have a big psychological level, because I don't like to buy the big psychological level, 6,000 now. So the best trade would have been just before it, and now I need to wait for a nice at least shift here to the upside or continuation lower.
Yep. And for me, the previous day low seems interesting, but there's also a previous day low of the day before that. So Tuesday's low, 59.86. That would be more interesting for me because there is a naked untested value right there around 5985. That, if we move down, that would be very interesting for me. Or if we don't get that, as you were talking about earlier, the RTH gap, I think is a shoe in.
Yeah, but this is it. If they drop here, I mean, yes, 82, 83, all the way down, because I don't see anything else below price there. Yeah, 91 supposedly the low from yesterday, and then all the way down with the untested value. So let's be patient. Pick up that better trade. NQ as well with that move all the way back down to the 80s, and BTC coming back inside the range. Okay, so NES is trying to flip that overnight low now. Let's see if it rejects here.
6K holding so far. Could be a trap. Excuse me.
RTH low is at 91. I mean, if we go with a short here, that stop has to be right now, and then target has to be the 91s. So we do have a little range. Let's have a look and see if we can get this one. Did you take a long, you said earlier?
Yeah, I did earlier, but it was just a quick one. It was about 100 risk, so it was fine for me. A little scratch, no worries.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's a bit peculiar here, isn't it? Because it's that big round level. We're right in front of it. Anything can happen, really. Hadn't it been for that, and we're retesting the overnight low, I could potentially take the short trade down to the previous day low. But because we're at around this big 6K figure, it's always like, you know, there's a lot of traders buying this, a lot of traders selling it. It's a big level.
Yep. Great. And Q still dropping. And I'm looking at the negative delta. It's not actually super heavy. It's about minus 1200 on NQ, minus 1300, 1400 on ES. That's not heavy selling, in my opinion. It has high volume right now, like very high volume on ES, over 104,000 contracts so far. That's a big number. But the selling and the buying has been pretty mixed. The dominant sellers are still a little bit dominant, but they're not puking. They're not letting it go. So we'll see if they can hold it here. Continue the range-bound environment.
Yeah, I would say still lower on ES. It looks like they might want to sweep that 6 round figure into the previous.
If we get a nice low put in down there, I would be interested. But right now, the lows just look pretty ugly.
Yeah.
And there we go.
So they've touched the 6. But I'm not interested in buying the 6 now. I was more interested in the retest and the short, but I got there a little bit later. So I got there when price was already moving away. So that would have given me a better risk down to the previous day low at 91. But right now I do have this big confluence with the 6, but you know, that's about it. Yeah, my level is 85. Should we reject here? It's looking okay with this.
I like the 1 minute low that was just put in. So I popped one long on ES.
Okay.
Just going with fighting against the trend here. So just note that it's against the trend.
What about
but NQ? I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah, NQ.
Wow.
We still have quite big volume down there. Yeah, NQ is pushing, trying to get out of the range. Yeah, I'm sharing a screen there.
Okay. And look at that rejection. Oh, I like it. I might even add one more.
Yeah.
Let me see if we can close this candle green. I'm interested in one more. If we close it red, I'm going to leave it at one contract because I think they want lower. But this is the retest right here. Okay, I like it.
Yeah, they close.
2 here.
Yeah. I just don't like that it's the round figure, so I feel like they might sweep the low again. So for me, they would have to break the 6 and completely shift this here. But for now, it just looks like, well, could be wrong. They could reclaim overnight low and then we can travel all the way up to 25. But I don't know, I just don't feel it yet. Plus on the tape, it's all selling yet. Thus far. Looks better now. Might join you on the long trade.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. My trade just got closed.
Oh.
So that's weird.
Did you press your flatten on your keyboard?
No.
No? Okay, I'll also take a look at the NQ. And yeah, NQ is looking okay. Oh, that's annoying.
I don't know why that happened. That's very strange. I could have had a DD set that was too low. Possible. Well, that's a bummer. At least we look at that. It's just running perfectly now.
No, I know,
right?
Right?
After my trade that's crazy.
That's yeah. I was trying to also trying to also get into the NQ, but it just kept pushing so fast now. So I only managed to get into the ES on the retest, and this is what I wanted to see, a little bit of sign of strength here by breaking that that high. So let's see if we can get that little retest. But we've got a 50 SMA now on the 1 minute at the 12. So this is a little bit of resistance coming up to it just now here. So I'm sharing your screen. We've got quite a little bit of overhead.
That is so weird. I don't know what that was. It would have been a great trade too, but you know what?
It would have been really nice actually. Yeah. Let's see if we can.
Well, you're in the long, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, the first one just above it didn't work, but yeah, let's see if this one will stick. It would be nice to get to see at least the open now, so push this up to the 15s. But the 12s is going to be a little bit hard to break there. So let's see, we've got the midpoint so far. But yeah, I'll keep my stop down there. It'll be a shame if we do reject here, because then that, it's just how it is sometimes. Yeah, and then I'll take a look at BTC as well to see. But yeah, BTC was coming in a little bit earlier.
Back at 88,900. Just retested that little supply area. And if you excuse me for 1 second, I'm just going to take a quick bathroom break.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we are finding a little bit sticky here. You can see that 10 to 12 just, holding, suppressing that price down there. That's the 50 SMA. The 50 SMA, I did a strategy for the champions, like a lesson. And it tends to get really well respect on ES and NQ, 1 minute chart. So if you are interested, you can always watch that lesson if you're a champion. But yeah, this looks like it wants to, touch the 50, which is around the 12. But we also have the midpoint here, so a little bit of resistance. It is tempting to move stop up to at least just lock a bit of profits. But yeah, let me have a look at NQ just consolidating there. Yeah, it's not the best. Let me look here on the 30-second chart. Yeah, it's coming back inside. Yeah. Waiting here. Yeah, at this point I'll move my stop to higher because it looks like they just want to fail here. Where's overnight low? Just there. Just look. Yeah, that's kind of like the back test. Rejecting the 50. Yeah, it looks like they want more still to the downside. So I will close my position if we don't hold this overnight low. My stop is too close to price. It's always a waiting game, isn't it? There you go. So that's overnight low. I'm going to just allow a little bit more room just in case we do make that nice retest and then go. And then we can really target those 20s, 25s. We came back inside, so you got your opportunity, Scott. I think you're muted there. Couldn't hear you if you spoke.
Yep, I'm muted.
Right, let's see if it holds. It doesn't look the best, to be honest. It would have been lovely if they took the 2s to 275. But let's see if it holds. At this point, what I like to do is that low there should be kind of like important. And if it comes below there, then I can see this go straight through and sweep the stops below that 6,000. And they could potentially bring this down to at least 90, I would say 95, and then get the move. So with that new information, we can put our stop there, which is just a small, tiny loss. And it's basically either it works or it doesn't. So this is the time that it should really get going. If it doesn't, then we'll see price go below the current low, take the stops here from the early longers that took the long from 6K, and you potentially go down to 97. ES likes the 97 and 95 just after. So it's worth the risk because our stop is literally just below this low. That would have been the best trade. But yeah, sometimes these things, when they get going, they get going. But yeah, it just doesn't want to get through there. That 50 SMA always suppressing price, isn't it? If you're above, it holds. If you're below, it suppresses price down. Good resistance line.
Yep.
You flat? Oh, okay. You're.
I did re-entered on the trade
okay.
here at the value area low.
Okay.
We are against the 8 EMA right now, which is not a good sign for this long. But no, and I wanted to at least get an attempt on this.
And it's spending too much time down here as well. So it looks like they might want to, just take the stops below the 6. There we go. That candle formation down there looks like I want to just roll over now. Looking at the 1 minute chart. Double low, 604.75. Exactly where the entry is. Come on, push or drop. All right, let's take a look at BTC while this decides to do its thing. Let me go to a 30 minute and I'll put my chart there. So we came all the way back down. Still holding. Let me just put the bars here and hide all of this.
Some thick liquidity added here on NQ 21095 got filled. See if they continue upside or if they push down here. Yep, continuing up.
Yeah, BTC. It's the second time, third. Once, twice, 3 times. So, we need to wait for this. We've got 2 minutes. We need to wait for this 30-minute candle to close. Because look, they've tried it. You got the high. Oops, wrong tool. They've got the high, another high. They come down once, twice. This is the 3rd time. So if this doesn't hold, we're going to be looking for those lows on there at 88 to 87. So let's give 2 minutes and see. Okay, where do they close this candle? Because the wick is all the way down there. So let's keep looking here. Yes, is kind of holding so far. Where's the EQ? At 10. We might reject the 10 again and then come and sweep that low on ES.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it wants to keep going up here, but Nasdaq is. That's the thing. So we'll see if Nasdaq turns. I think ES could easily turn. Here we go. This is it.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, they want to go and take that low first. I mean, I hope they don't, but that's what it looks like they're trying to do. But yeah, back to BTC. This is going to be important. We've got 1 minute, 50 seconds. Oops.
Watching BTC here too. Interested in the retest of the 87 level. The 50 SMA on the 2 hour is one thing I'm looking at right now. It's coming up right around to the 87,000 level. That would be a good place if we are to come for a bit of a deeper retrace. But that being said, it does look a little more bearish at the moment.
Yeah, I'm closing my trade here on ES. $50 loss.
That's not a bad loss at all.
No, it just wants to go.
Good loss.
I've not done it yet. It's just there to stop. So hopefully once, just keeping an eye on everything.
Got my stop at 603. Keeping an eye on Ethereum as well. Ethereum taking some lows, the daily lows right now.
I mean, technically still holding. That's but I feel like it wants to just curl over, go take the 6K low, hit 97 potentially to 95, come back inside. Then that would be the signal. Because failing that, then yeah, we're losing that range low. And you can see here, so this these three lows, 1, 2, 3, that is that support. So if we lose there, I mean, you know, we'll see the gap potentially. So it's either go below, come back inside, and then go and see the other range high. Yeah, we could be in trouble here. As in, yes. NQ, the same thing. The low earlier looked good, but it doesn't look as good now.
Every attempt by the bulls is just pushed back down.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to close one single candle above the 8 EMA, a really good indicator.
God, look at that. It's still lingering here around that low. Okay, sweeping below. Back to your chart there.
Wow. Okay, we've got a new 30-minute candle open here.
Okay.
Starting with a move to the downside.
Come on, I want to see that low taken. I will take the long. I'll reattempt the long if it holds here, or if it sweeps the okay, so I like that there. It has to yeah, here. So it has to hold. I'll have to mark it in. Okay, I'm gonna try, and my stop will be this low here. I'm just trying to basically go with the move up, but it might not want to give us that. It might really want to go and take those stops from the 6K. It's so like I was saying earlier when we started the stream, like longing down here or taking a trade down here around this big psychological level is just always like risky, because it gives you like all of that emotional that comes with it. Let me just push this one tick down. There you go. Are you still? Oh yeah, you closed yours. Yeah, they want to take the low, so we're just gonna have to be patient, wait for it to happen, and then take. BTC is coming down, so
yep.
let it do its thing. Yeah, it might want to go and take.
Dropping with some style here. It looks.
Yeah, it was the sweep of that 92 to 100. Right, there you go. So this is coming down to take us, and potentially that 6. I mean, but the thing is, it still looks good. What's the 5-minute looking like?
Well, not great.
Yeah, but it's not going anywhere. It's just stuck down here. Right. I'll share your screen for a little bit.
It's good. A little bit slow here. Yes.
Do you want to do some questions while it's deciding what it wants to do?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw some really good ones here. Let me find them. Yeah, Fresh Kool-Aid was asking if BTC is moving down. I think yes. I think we got that confirmed. It's a little tough to find the questions in here, and on our website we actually have them, so it's easier to filter them out. So I apologize, team, that it just takes me a little bit of time to get these questions. All right, are you still using Igor sessions?
Yeah, I still look at them every now and then, especially on BTC when it's a little bit slow. Yeah.
IS4, right? Isn't that New York? Or IS3 is New York. Yeah.
Yeah, IS3.
Yep. And one question from Portia. I have a question for Igor. If you consider the volume profile data, which do you think is more relevant? BTC USD, BTC USDT, or BTC CME?
BTC CME. Yeah, I prefer to look at the BTC CME. Yeah. It tends to be, I don't know, I just find better value using it, especially with the poor high, but I don't want to really give everything away, but especially around the poor highs and poor lows, it always gives you that nice respect, where if there's anything unfinished to one side, there's always a high chance that it will go there and clean that up. So yeah, I do prefer the CME, but that's not to say that the other markets don't work, or the other exchanges. It's just a personal thing, really. But yeah, I mean, BTC, even though we've come all the way back inside, it's still like above yesterday's close. So it's trying really really hard here to hold on.
Yep.
But yeah, I prefer the CME.
ES and NQ obviously are through the CME as well. And that's just, in my opinion, one of the biggest, most well-respected, most transparent markets out there in terms of volume and order flow and data. So that's the one I tend to look at as well. But the second one I look at is the exchange I'm trading on. And that is the perpetual contract on Femex for me here in the US. Unfortunately, not on Bybit anymore due to some regulations. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. Chris R, do we have templates for the TV templates that Igor shows? I don't see it in the Discord. Yeah, absolutely. There are templates in there. Just do a little search into Igor's trading channel. And I think it was about 3 weeks ago. If you have trouble finding them, Chris, tag me in the chat and I will send you because I have links to all of them. So feel free to do that if you can't find them. All right. Let's see. Now we're trying to reclaim some levels here on ES. We just got a candle close right at the 8.
Yeah, I just like this low here. And it's like we're live on YouTube, but if I wasn't, that's what I would be doing. I would be doing exactly what I'm doing now, which is trying this long. So let's see if it sticks. But I would probably give myself a little wider stop. But because we're here, I'm trying to keep the risk as minimal as possible. But yeah, let's see what happens.
Yep.
Have you done trading on the scene? Yeah, it's trying. It's not successfully. And it's just very slow down here. I mean, seriously. I mean, what is this? 45 minutes on the same price.
Yeah.
15 now and counting.
You have the Fed speech later, so maybe prices are anticipating that. Question from Jacob. Hey, Scott, can you point me how to do U.S. taxes when trading on Femex? So what I do is I just pull my profit and loss statement at the end of the year, make sure that I capture every little transaction that I had, and then I send that over to my tax professional. So that's about as far as I go on taxes. But I do know that it was pretty easy last time I did it. They just gave you I think it was like a 1099 form if you're in the US. If you're outside of the US, it might be a little bit different. But for me, that's what I do is just grab the 1099 and then it's pretty easy.
Wow. Are you guys filling price action in a chat? Because it's doing nothing here on ES. NQ still also on the same range. Yeah, at this point, you just wanted to just clean the high. So yeah, my trade is going nowhere. I mean, clean the lows. It's just going nowhere. What about BTC? BTC is still lingering down there. It looks like it wants to take the 88.5 low too. Yeah, you're right. Maybe you are... the Fed speech later is suppressing everything down. Volatility.
And Jacob, no, I don't think they'll care that it's from an international market. I've never gotten any pushback, never even any questions, even when I put in my Bybit stuff in there. I think they just want to make sure that you're reporting it accurately. So if you just do your best to report as accurately as possible, I think you'll be all right. Yeah, that's right, Master Trade. It's testing our patience.
Yeah, it's just annoying. I mean, the thing is, I liked the move on B session down first. I like the location, but it's just not getting out of here. It's really frustrating. And sometimes we get this, like it's attempting again. I just want to see us just go, really. And then we can target, I mean, the amazing would be 20s. The other side of the range, but
initial balance high.
Yeah. Do we have enough trapped people down here? I mean, not really. I don't see. I mean, on QT, the delta for just the session is coming in around minus 300, so it's not a lot. And that's the delta for the whole session. Yeah, it's just very slow.
I'm still in the long trade here on ES from that retest of the low. Looking to take out the local 5-minute high. They're at 612. That's where liquidity is sitting.
I would like it to hold and look for higher. It needs to at least go above, $500 for me. Otherwise, it's not the best.
Yep.
But yeah, look, coming back inside now. Let's see if the 04s hold now, because if it doesn't, yeah, there you go, 3, 7, 5s. Yeah, they just don't want to take this yet. That's the back test. Needs to hold that 3-4 region. God, it's really slow, isn't it?
Yeah, it's normally a little more energized here during the New York session.
Yeah, it's usually a little bit more hump going on.
And I will say that this is the time when I try to stop myself from trading because I know that the probability starts to change once we start to get these wicky, choppy,
Yeah.
ugly types of moves. But I'm still holding the trade because I feel like it could go. And if it doesn't, then no
It's
worries.
just not looking very likely.
Yeah. Check that at the A point of control, TPO.
Endura was down 1.5k this morning, now only down 280, just trading the range. Nice one. Well done.
Amazing. Well done. Good recovery.
Yeah, I feel for the long. I feel the same massive trades. I do feel like that sweep below that 6k psychological big figure would be nice. But I mean, as you can see there, we just chopping. And typically when I look for a trade, I mean, if it's NQ, then yes, I can take a nice quick scalp, lock it, and then let go. But on ES, I tend to hold the trade a little bit longer, but it's just not doing anything down here. So yeah, being patient.
Okay, so a question from Shushunja. Okay, when is what you call the power hour? That is at the last hour of the New York trading session. That is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And what time is that UK? Is that 8 p.m.?
Yeah, 8 to 9 p.m. Yes. No.
8 to 9 p.m.
Yeah,
There you go.
8. Yeah, that's it. 8 to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Used to be 9 to 10 because the hour, change, the clock change.
Yep.
God, even
that
NQ is stuck down here, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really slow.
Okay, BTC.
We do have the Powell speech at Power Hour today. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there.
Yeah, BTC. We kind of need the next candle.
Yep.
And I'll talk through that in about 18 minutes. So patience is required on BTC. Let's take a look at let's take a look at what? Oil, maybe? Crude? Gold? Yeah, gold moving high. Maybe we can trade out the market. How are these markets doing? Let's have a look. Yeah, gold is doing okay. So at least we're, attempting to form a nice low here, but still lower lows, lower highs. Silver. All right, this looks good. We're just back testing. So we've done. Oh, this is brilliant. Right, so I like silver here. So we've attempted, and I've seen this many times, where it breaks the high, then breaks the low, comes back inside, and then runs. So this actually looks good. Let's put an alert at $30, and I would say 30 or 75. This looks nice. Not buy. I want to set an alert. Let's do this. I'll put 40. 95. Yeah, let's see if we can come back inside and hold that range low. Okay, gold coming into resistance now. Crude. And I'll leave the high and low indicator on the chart. That is just marking the previous day range. So you can see the trend a little bit more cleaner. Yeah, this looks good as well. It would have been nice if we actually tested, but look, instead of testing the previous low, they actually tested the Monday low. Wow, that's insane. That's
trying to go here.
Yeah, it's trying. Yeah, BTC. What I'm trying to I'll explain in a minute when I see the candle, because now we just touched the settlement, 89.50. And we're holding, but we want to see now the next candle open and come back inside. Yeah, this looks okay. Yeah, I like silver. Let me just put an alert here to see.
What I just heard was that Bitcoin has actually now surpassed silver in terms of market capitalization. That's a
Really?
big
Wow.
thing.
Yeah.
Big. Yeah, I think silver is about 1.5 trillion in market cap. BTC is like 1.7 now. Maybe more, maybe less. But that's pretty incredible if you think about it. BTC just flipped silver.
Wow. All of these markets look the same. So euro, British pound, crude oil, silver, and gold is the only. No, sorry, silver is the only one really starting to get back inside the range. So that's nice. Let's take a look at the ETF. So there's the BTC ETF. Yeah, still a bit of room. Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum is inside the gap. Let me go to a 30 minute so you can see better. Okay, let's mark a line there. Because, yeah, look at Ethereum as well. So we're kind of working with this. I mean, everybody's probably looking at this as an descending triangle, which it looks like it. And it may well really be. But I feel like we can go back inside here and take the high again. Because the direction is up. So, yeah, we've got the gap there. Let's keep an eye here as well. Potentially could take a long trade. At least it's a really cheap long from now. But we need, as I was saying, on BTC is the same thing. We need this candle close. There you go. So we're losing that trend line like we spoke earlier. But if we can close this bullish and then back inside the back test, that still is up for grabs. Unless we back test and reject. So there's the two options there. Someone is saying SFP confirmed. Kind of, yes.
It did tap the 618. It did tap the local 618. Maybe a low time frame.
Let's take a look at the volume.
Yeah, maybe low time frame.
Yeah, you've got a total buy, so it's still negative. Let's see if the buyers do step in. Weekly view up as well. So yeah, it's support. Didn't quite touch it though. Yeah, these traders will get trapped if we can start closing above. 16 minutes there. ES still flirting down there. Oh, there's an alert. So silver doing a little retest. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Let me just go back. Go to my chart first. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. Yeah, so yes, still not getting out of here. Yeah, everything is stuck on a little range. ES, not going anywhere. Just stuck down here. We're kind of at support, but it's just not giving us that nice swing low. Volume is completely dry. Ideally, you want to see this just drop for that continuation. Or reclaim and go now, but it's not. We've got 11 minutes still from the session. Silver.
NQ is rejecting here. The New York VWAP. Still pretty much in the same place that we've been.
I know, right? It's yeah.
Not moving. Not going.
Yeah. If Severin was here, he'd be like, yeah, just waiting. Isn't it?
Just waiting, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let the price go, take the lows.
We have previous day low. That looks like what we're reaching for.
All
now.
right, so there you go. So it's now taking the low. All right, let's see if it's just going to completely burst through those 6. So we were saying 97 and then 95s. And obviously after that, we've got the low And then, yeah, all the way down as we spoke, the 80, is it 85, which is the untested value. I mean, we could go there, to be honest, but yeah, that would be quite a move now. Yeah, well and truly through the 6. So 95 now.
And NQ has crossed over the previous Tuesday's low. Excuse me, the low from Wednesday, yesterday. And from Tuesday as well. So we've just taken out the previous 2 days' lows. Interesting to see what we do here.
Just looking, being patient here. I did flatten that trade, by the way, at the 6. Yeah,
10 minutes left here in B session.
Yeah, we're very close to the RTH low. 6 is broken. 97 hit. 95, and now is just the low. So we've got the low. Those are the next 2 levels. Yeah, I still feel like the long trade is okay, but we'll have to reclaim now.
Stock's pretty much flat here. Exception there is Nvidia. Nvidia is up about 1%, and Coinbase up about 1%. All the others are basically flat, if not down a bit. Tesla down 4%. A few others down just a percentage. Google. So a little bit mixed here today. Probably why we're seeing such a push-pull. Oh, I said it again, push-pull on the
push-pull, yeah,
and indexes.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel likely to make this to be the low now. Just a few ticks away from 91.75. I mean, what are the odds of that? Pretty low, right?
Yeah.
So that overnight low is coming in at 04s. 6. We've got high volume node down there at 93, so that's, it's showing like acceptance down there as well. No big 80s, maybe potentially. Yeah, it's the untested value. Yeah, very mixed here. All of the liquidity on the NQ was filled. You can see those bubbles there on Scott's screen. Yeah, just don't see a proper good setup today, to be honest. We spent majority of the session around this 6K. We spent quite a long time between 604, 603. Yeah, a little bit boring.
And I will say we've been blessed with some amazing price action very recently, so to see it not so great is fine. Just part of the game.
Yeah,
I don't. New candle open.
Yeah. It comes to 6,000 back test. 99. What is the risk here? So if we take the short down to the previous day low at 91, well, we do have a range. Let's see if we at least touch. Are they rejecting the 99? That'd be annoying because we just missed it. Maybe a little bit higher. What do we have? Yeah, it's 6. Oh, it's so tricky, isn't it, today?
And not the easiest environment.
Yeah, we're just not getting out of here. You're not getting that continuation. Just stuck. Yeah, and we're so close to that previous day low. that it would be very unlikely to leave it as that. And Q also looks ugly. Yeah, it's just no. Let us know in a chat how you guys doing today.
Yeah.
With your trading.
And EVNG Lion has just said, Igor, you're such a stud. Swagger is out of control. I agree with that. This guy is swag on 1 million.
Stop it.
Fresh to death.
Oh, man.
And if you know Igor, you know that he's always rocking a beautiful, fresh, crisp polo. So, it's a trend. It's a trend.
There is a trend. Oh, come on, just give us a trend. I mean, look, come on. What are the odds of this to go live on a Thursday, which typically tends to be? But I guess we do have the Fed Chair Powell speak later, isn't it?
Yeah, he's ruined everything.
But yeah, it's just blah.
One question from Endura, if you don't mind, if you have a few seconds.
Yep.
So they're trading BTC on CME micros without order flow, without open interest, especially with the divergences are struggling a little bit. Are you using Bybit order flow for CME to help translate some of that open interest as well as potential divergences?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The Bybit order flow is really good. And I think this is it. I missed the open interest, but we can't get open interest on the futures anyway. Well, you'd have to go every day to the CME website and then check previous day open interest and then carry that forward to the next day. So that's the only downside. But yeah, I do check Bybit because they do have nice solid data when it comes to the open interest. And for a very long time, we were stuck around 1 billion. Is it still 1 billion today? Yeah, what's the open interest at? Do you have that up?
BTC? No, I do not.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to pinpoint here a trade.
Since I don't have access to Bybit anymore, kind of stopped looking at the open interest for BTC, just relying on the CME data. But hopefully one day that opens back up again.
I'm connected to Bybit. I can check it, but I'm just trying to find that trade. We did hit that 94 to 95s. That has cleaned the stop. So I'm just looking for this back test on here now at the 6Ks. So so 97 didn't hold, 95 to 94. So call it $1 there. So this potentially could reject here. But if we get accepted into here, the trade is still valid to the upside. So we just obviously, got stopped before the move happened. So there you go. We're seeing that little move through. Let me just check also. Just going to change up to my, there's the 50 coming now. Just want to see it flipped. I want to trade. And we are coming into that next period switch over. So keeping an eye on there. NQ with a nice bounce from all of the liquidity done there. Being patient.
Here, getting a nice little push here. See if we can change the local trend. BTC finding some support at the 88,500 level, the 618 from the current low to the current high. Let's see if that actually holds. It has potential, but it's not ideal for me. I'd like to see a little bit deeper into the 87s, but we'll see.
Okay, now ES is back.
The 50?
Yeah, it's at the 50 now. Let's see if it holds. Price below, overnight low as well, incoming 04s. And we've got the C session opening in about a minute. Bybit is at 1.16. Thank you for that.
Yeah, appreciate that.
But price is down now, so I'll check in a minute. This is annoying because I wanted to pull the short here, but because we're a minute away from the next period, I'm going to refrain from doing it and I'll wait for the C period information first. But yeah, let me open the crypto template and go to order flow. and we'll check. Yeah, 1.165. There you go, going through the overnight low. So that trade kind of idea on par. Are you flat? Yeah.
Yep, still flat.
Yeah. Okay.
But it looks like we're getting a nice pop here.
Sometimes it can be annoying to have the right idea and then price does break below before and then it goes. So at least the idea was on point.
Yep.
Nice move on NQ. But even on NQ, I mean, and to be perfectly transparent, I mean, on this drop here, it did look good, but at that point, it looked like they still wanted lower. And then obviously when the trend changes here, it just goes really quickly. So no trade for me there either. So yeah, that was that.
And the 1 minute low on ES just looks horrendous, which it is wickless on both ones. So
Yeah,
it really didn't give me that confidence at all.
It's not nice. Yeah, we're talking about this here. That doesn't look good. 1 minute. I mean, at least the NQ took the lows from previous RTH sessions. At least there's a confluence here. There's a nice sort of like, okay, you've swept 2-day lows. That's okay. But on the yes, you kind of haven't, and you've just left a a weak low now. So this could still reject, take it into those untested values, and then that's where the real trade comes in. So I'm just trying to be a little bit more patient for that. Okay, VWAP is at the 10. C session is now open. We're at the midpoint. I mean, a back test of the 6K low, it would be okay. Happens to be the 50, half back. Yeah, it's not the best price action for me today.
15-minute low looks good on ES actually.
I don't like it.
No, not a fan.
No, not a fan.
That's okay.
Yeah, let's take a look at silver. Silver did look good, to be honest. So yeah, there you go. So should have bought it. Yeah. I feel like we have a really, I mean, look, if you like to trade the futures, this could be a nice trade later still, because you have a really great formation here. And you could go back to Euro when it was on parity with 1. We had a similar situation where we had a really relentless downtrend, lower lows, lower highs, lower low, lower highs. But there was one day where before we broke the low, we broke the highs here. So you break the high, you break the low, come back inside, and then when you get that nice pullback, that's when you then target the highs, and that could be a really good trade, especially on silver. So yeah, that's looking okay. I just don't like this low here on ES. I feel this low might be tapped. So let's look at the backtest of the 6K to see if that holds. NQ is coming back into support now, so that's looking okay there as well. So I'll keep an eye on both. And we'll see. If price holds here, then we can take the long trade. If it doesn't, then yeah, we're going to go for those lows, which look unfinished on the 1 minute chart on ES. Yeah, not the best price action. Not very, no confidence. Slow, very slow tempo, isn't it? Like very, NQ with a bit of an erratic price action. What's the spread there? We've got a little alert going on. Quite loud.
Not bad, 1 tick.
Scold. Coming in. Yeah, it's not bad. I'll take a look at that. I just want to make sure that I don't miss the trade here.
Yep. And I do think the liquidity is there. It's just not, the direction is not, the conviction is not there on this market today. So no one wants to show their hand. Everybody's waiting.
No.
Bulls are trying. Give them that.
Still inside the initial balance. And some days it's going to be like this, where you don't just get that nice trade. And it can be a little bit frustrating, but you just have to be a little bit more patient and know that there's another trading day tomorrow. For example, right now, that 6K didn't come to fruition. The low still looks a little bit unfinished. It is holding, to be fair. The at least the NQ had the perfect test of the halfback, but it didn't look good either down here. I don't have that nice price action that that I like to trade. And when I don't have it, I prefer to just stay out. ES didn't quite give us the little deeper pullback for a better risk to reward trade. The low looks ugly on the 1 minute. It's super close to that 1 minute, to that yesterday's low as well. The volume down here was actually quite high, which indicates that the auction is still in play for later. We didn't quite get down to that nice support area, so I don't have the whole confluence, and the tempo is very slow. So what I mean by that is that you get into a trade and then it just lingers there. It stays there, doesn't come to to your targets very quick. And sometimes that's just an indication that the market's just waiting for something like a data entry, news, or whatever. Now it's looking better. And the only thing that I scratch my head now is that we did hold those 95s down there, which is exactly what we were looking for, to take the stops, early stops, and then go. But that retest was not the best. So let's see if we hold that. If we do, the long is still in play, and then we can reach the 20s. But yeah, let's see. Back to your chart there.
Yep.
We also have VWAP just above price now. So we kind of we're stuck, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And let's see if Ether BTC have made any moves. Yeah, BTC is still pretty much at the same spot, right around 89, 88.8. And ETH continues to move down, 3,000. Oh, Igor is the best. I agree, 100%. Okay, all right. We have a special guest on Zoom. I think they need to be let in.
Oh,
So I don't know if you wanted to check and see maybe if there was someone knocking at the door.
I think we can let him in. There he is.
Hey ho, who's that?
Severin.
Hello.
We cannot hear you.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
I can now. I can. Hello,
Hello,
my friend. How are you
hello.
doing?
I am doing very well. How about you?
Good. Yeah. Well, I had better
just-
trading this morning during New York. During London, I took the value low trade, and that was a really good one. But during this fast market, it's been a somewhat bit slow around the 6K level. So now it's speeding up a little
Yeah.
bit, which is good. Maybe that's you. You've come into the chart and
Yeah, I'm
it's
in this.
speeding
I'm
up.
in this long trade here. So
Nice, legend.
2,000
That was
now
it.
on.
That's it.
Now
All
we
right.
know.
It was you then.
Yeah, that was the exact level I was waiting for this morning. But I do agree, it didn't look amazing on the 5 minute with no wick to
No.
the downside. The 5 minute low is not
mhm.
amazing. But I was like, yeah, we got the retest on the 1 minute, and then I decided to go ahead and compound into a 2 contract trade here on Nasdaq. So I'm probably gonna take a take profit one quickly. So
Do it. Yeah.
I'm happy with
VWAP is
that.
coming.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close one.
Yeah, we were looking for the same, but it's just been, honestly, that range down there, the 1 minute, the 5th, yeah, it just did not look clean enough. And because we front run the ES low by 2 ticks, 3 ticks, it always
agree.
begs the question, right, is the market, and this is what I referred to, is the market going to trick us onto the SR flip like you like to trade, on the 6K, and then come back inside a little bit more? But that 95 in hindsight did it was a good level. It just basically run the stops and then come back inside. So yeah, I'm glad you managed to get in. Very good. And I think
Yeah.
people in the chat are happy to see you here. So that's nice.
Yeah, but to be honest, I was also waiting a long time for a good trade. So in between, we had a little bit of chop around the levels.
Yeah.
So now finally with that one very good trade. But besides that, I've also taken one long trade on gold today. That was based off this level that I gave. So gold into this supply zone here and this anchored VWAP, and on the lower time frames that offered a nice long trade down here.
Yeah, gold does look good.
Yeah, I agree. So that is that in terms of positions. We did have some price action here. Ethereum taking range low, Bitcoin continuing lower. What's that? I think I got another alert. I'm just gonna scan through my list real quick. Yeah, so Weave is also now with some weakness here from the altcoin stream, which I was looking at. So let's see if we get some more weakness for a short trade. And yeah, that is what I am looking at. But this on Nasdaq looked so unfinished. It's once again wow, Igor, okay, look at this. So once again, your teachings, right? If one, then two. I was
Yep.
saying the exact same on my stream on Nasdaq. So if one, liquidity was taken up here, right?
Yep.
So if one, that is finished. We're looking for two.
Yep.
That was down here, now also finished. So
Brilliant. I know.
beautiful.
I know, and look, when I was sharing earlier the NQ chart, you can see, and I did cover that. So we did take those lows. At least the NQ has that. But when you look at the S, it's like, come on, give us at least another couple of ticks down into the previous day low. That would have been nice, and then you can just let that rip, and then look for those 20s. But yeah, well done for catching that one there. That's very legendary as always. What about altcoins? Are you have you got any goodies there? Because I know you like those altcoins.
Yeah,
King of the altcoins is how the chat has dubbed you. King of the altcoins, Severin.
Yes.
So today I've done my altcoin stream for the champions, and what I'm looking at on Ethereum is a long trade if we get an SFP here into this uptrend anchored VWAP and naked point of control. Thus far, we've only taken the range low. I want to see my confluence area hit and see the close above the range low. Then this would equal a long trade for me. But yeah, we need to be a little bit more patient for that. I gave this trade on AVAX. So AVAX with the beautiful rejection of a monthly and weekly point of control or in confluence with the previous range point of control. This already dropped, what is it, 11%. So that's beautiful. I also have a long target for this to flip from short into long. I would keep my short trade open if we get down here as a little bit of a hedge for the beginning phase of this long trade, because if that stopped out, I could just keep the short trade running. And yeah, as I covered yesterday, I am in a short trade on Bitcoin. So I did short this right here, struggling a little bit.
Are you looking for zero?
Yes.
we can't see the target. It's definitely below 75k.
It's down here at this what is it? That's the supply zone here.
That's a big drop.
Yeah, I mean, if we drop on Bitcoin, we know that can happen fast. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but we are at the range or the channel high, and this is where we see this weakness come in. So it does make sense to at least hedge a long trade, which I posted yesterday. So I'm still in a long trade from a while ago.
Is that confluent? Where's the mid? 62. So that's the midpoint down there at 62. Wow.
Yes.
That's
really but look at this. It's pretty interesting, this channel, how well it's respected up there. And we got the daily candle close inside. We can see that here.
You know what would be interesting on the daily chart would be. Did you have the daily or the weekly just now?
This now is the day. Before that was the weekly.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see, because I like, as you know, I like to look at the closes, because that 27, well, down there around 20, the lows that you have on the lowest pivot there, it would be very interesting to see. Yeah, down there, it would be very, very interesting to see where the closes are. So with the line chart to see where it touches, and to see where we close this month, this weekly later. So when you put the line, there you go, up there. So you've got like the trend line lower on the top side, but down to potentially 85s on the top side. Don't obviously
this one, right?
Yeah, those two. It would be very interesting to see. Yeah, because typically they like to close. Yeah, there you go. Let's try that. Yeah, there you go. So what's the high there? 90, 88, 89.
I'm gonna zoom into the dailies now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we're kind of at it with the closes, right?
Yeah.
I like to do.
If I now pop on, look at this. That was
that was nice.
Almost
right?
the top. Yeah.
With the closes, right?
That is with the closes, yeah. Also
Yeah.
interesting.
So what was it with the with the wicks? I call it the emotions. So if you go back
Um,
to where you were, yeah, I call it the emotional.
this
They so
right
it's
here.
slightly higher. Okay.
Yeah. So body to body is a little bit higher.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Good to know. Yeah, I do
Nice
like to see
one.
that. Right, I'm looking at BTC here. I mean, we're obviously talking about you're looking for a much bigger drop there, but we are
That is
now.
just the potential that I could foresee if we start to drop. Everything is still looking bullish. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but that is how I would. So I wouldn't close this short trade at some point. I would
Well,
just
you
aim.
you do have quite a good track record on those things, so I would not be surprised. And to be fair, we have tried just now, we have tried to go back inside that trend line that we have there on the local time frame, like 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's just kind of finding a little bit of a resistance here. So it's kind of like make or break for BTC. Because we could see, I mean, we've been trending higher and higher for quite some time now. It would be not like a surprise to see a break a previous day low for the first time in what, forever now? Well, at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days. So yeah, it is due for a little pullback. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, I just trailed my stop loss here on Nasdaq.
Question for you on that trade there, Severin. From Nitro the Monkey, does Severin ever have a number target in mind on his current in-queue trade?
Not really what do you mean with a
I
number?
would
Do you
think maybe
mean
like a target for the actual trade, potentially on the chart as well as monetarily. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure which one.
monetarily? Not really, no. What I would do at this point is just trail my stop loss because on the 1 minute we can see that it has claimed the New York VWAP, and I don't want to see price breaking the NY VWAP. If we do, then I will be stopped out. Also, I'm playing with a 5 minute one time frame here locally, and once that's broken, I'm happy to be stopped out of this trade. So at this point, it's like Igor likes to say, boxing in price
Yeah.
and not having a predefined target and rather let it run for how far it wants to run.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
amazing. I love that you picked up on that. It's just really good to box it in because, as I said, sometimes you're just too early taking those profits. And that's exactly what I said earlier
Yep.
on that ES when it was coming back below, is that if you do take it, you kind of need to see that through because I saw my trade coming up to $350, but I wanted more to just allow that good risk to reward. Sometimes I will close it, but often I will just try and get it to beyond because otherwise your risk to reward will get all skewed out. But yeah, boxing in is a very, very good method. I like it.
Yeah, and for this trade, even if I was stopped now, this would still be a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So
Nice.
that's very safe.
Yeah, beautiful. A very nice comment here from Donald Pump saying, congratulations, Severin, on your fantastic altcoin stream. You've done a tremendous job, really tremendous. People are talking about it. Believe me, they're saying, Severin, he's the man when it comes to altcoins. You set the bar high, really high. Keep it up. You're doing amazing things, and it's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. I love how it's in the Donald Trump voice as well.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
wanted
funny.
to. Yeah, that's really funny. I wanted you to
Congratulations,
pronounce
Severin,
it.
on the fantastic altcoin stream. You did a tremendous job, really tremendous.
Really, really tremendous.
Not like China. Billions and billions in altcoin trades.
That's funny. Yeah.
That is cool.
No, I agree with that though. Yeah, well done.
Yeah, that's very cool. Boxing it in then. Well done.
Yeah. So what I could think about is, depending on where this 5 minute closes, I can trail my stop loss even higher. So if that candle closes green, I will trail it up to here.
Yeah, it's trying to flip that VWAP there, right?
Mhm.
I think
We have
they
the
got it too,
open.
honestly. They have the open just above at the 50 as well.
Yeah.
That's where my eye is going, at least.
Yeah.
BTC not following along. BTC actually now pushing a little bit lower here,
No.
back at the 88s. It's just not playing along with the other markets today.
I'm thinking about managing my gold trade a little bit. I can see a little bit of weakness on the 5 minute. So I'm currently in 6 contracts. That's a big trade actually. I did take the long trade on the VWAP flip because that was a nice sign of strength. Let me show you real quick.
Yeah, I've got your screen up, Severin.
I did have the 5 minute VWAP flip here. If I hide all of that.
Yeah, BTC
This was
is breaking.
Oh, I will have a look at Bitcoin really soon. But this was also a supply into demand flip here, and I did take my long trade right here.
Nice.
So thinking about closing half maybe. I don't know if I can show this.
It's on Atas. Are you using Atas for that as well?
It's on Atas, yeah, but it's on my main screen. I can share this screen, otherwise share too much.
Yeah.
I will find a way.
All right, so BTC is coming down to sweep that low, 88.6, which is a previous.
Let me keep Bitcoin open.
Yeah, and at this point, I got to give it to you. I mean, we do have it. I mean, it looks now that it's the first day now that we are breaking a previous session low for quite some time. So this is the first attempt now. So this is the first time BTC has looked bearish since all of this uptrend. And I will share my screen just very quickly just to go over that.
Yeah.
So BTC. So here we go. So even when we were down at 67K, so since 67K, so gap up, one time framing higher, gap up, one time framing higher, one time framing higher, and then another gap up, one time framing higher. And then I'm going to delete this trend line. And now here, 1, 2. So you have a potential of a swing high, not confirmed yet, obviously, because this candle needs to, we need another 2 candles. But this is the first time now that we have taken a previous day low in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exactly 8 days. Which, if any of you likes the sequential, you know that it's typically around the 8th, 9th day that you get a pullback. So potentially we could be seeing it now, but you're coming right down into that support there at 88, which is my BTC support there. So yeah, first time in a while. BTC now looking a little bit weaker, and you can see that right there.
And do either of you, just a bunch of questions coming from folks in the chat, do either of you see a potential long trade here on BTC, or are you looking for a potential a little bit lower?
I mean, to be fair, the high that we had just earlier on F period at 92,300 does look really good. I mean, that high does actually look nice. We did back test the kind of like pre-range up there, so it looks nice. The formation looks good, so you'd want to see at least price coming back and breaking that 90,000 again, to be sure that this is just a look below and fail. If that's the case, then that trade is safe for another higher high. But if you get acceptance in here, I mean, yeah, that lower level, which is the untested value, probably will come into play. Because look, even on this chart here, when you draw like a simple trend line, I mean, BTC loves those trend lines, channels. You can see that we have completely lost it now, and we have closed twice below it. It doesn't even matter how you draw it; it is below it. So you can see that value now shifting. So you've got 1 day higher, overlapping, and then this is when sometimes, as depending on how you're trading, you need that extra day just to see, okay, what happens now when we close tomorrow? Do we actually close below this level? If so, perfect. Continue with the short trade, take it lower. But if you suddenly go back inside, then you are back inside the range, and then you look for the highs, because the overall trend is still direction up. Okay, it's not like we're drawing this trend line like this, is it? So, yeah, just something to think about.
VWAP trying, NQ trying to flip VWAP here.
Oh man.
So yeah. I trailed my stop loss a little higher.
Yeah, that would have been a nice trade there. $300. Got 6 minutes. No pressure.
Just want to check the financial juice, see if there's anything coming out right now, anything popping.
Oh, I missed that pullback. I was covering BTC. That looked good. That little pullback to the 08s.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that did look nice. Looking at this one here, the little pullback on both assets.
Now we're testing NY Open.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right on it, on NQ.
Nothing major in terms of news. Just a few things here and there.
We have the Powell speech today, right?
Later, yeah.
Around power hour.
Be nice if the volatility picks up later.
And I suspect that it will. And if it doesn't, it will definitely pick up on Friday. That would be my thoughts. Question for Severin. Where are you trading gold at ES and NQ? Which platform?
I am trading on AMP futures.
Cool. Thank you.
So another test of the view up here, but this 1 minute candle looks a little bit more bearish on Nasdaq.
Yeah, do you know what would be
1
cool?
minute.
It would be cool, because this looks a little bit toppy here on the NQ. It would be cool to take the 20s now and then go back up and take the 40s and then drop. Because the 40s also has our, well, we're rejecting now from the open. So you got the open, but just above it, we've got the midpoint, but also the 7.5. So it'd be nice to, backtest the 20s now. Let's see if it holds here. If it doesn't, then no trade for me. But if it does, then this would be a nice trade up to the 40s and then take the 40s and then back down again. That would be nice into the session open with the retracement. But it looks like they want to go.
I am now out of my long trade here with this
You are?
5 minute reversal.
Okay.
Yes. It was a beautiful trade.
Nice one.
Yep. Well done. And forward, I don't think he is. So I think the question is from Severin, do you trade with prop firms? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure maybe at one point you have, but the current present moment you don't trade with prop firms. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. So I tested prop firms, but I prefer trading on AMP, I must say. So
Yeah.
I like to be in charge of my own payouts and everything. So
Which makes absolute sense.
it's just, I think it's great for some people, especially in the beginning, it does make sense. And at some point, maybe combining trading prop firms as well as own money. But for me, it's just another layer of uncertainty. If you add a third party into your trading, I don't know, I just don't feel that good about it. So I prefer to have it all separate and I make all the decisions. So
Yeah.
happy about that decision to close the long trade, by the way.
Yeah,
Nice job.
brilliant. Brilliant. We didn't hold those 20s. Went straight through it. Yeah, nice run down.
Is Bitcoin following along here?
Yep, sure is.
Yeah, it's still
Nice.
below that low.
Someone asked about the Bitcoin long setup. The only thing I would see here is a range low SFP, to be honest. So if we
Yeah.
get an SFP of 85,212, that is the only acceptable trade here. I don't like the point of control retest. I don't like the value area low. And other than that, there's not much. Let's check a CC real quick. Probably add it now. Yeah. But it's been tested here already. That was, I think you did take this first CC retest, right, Igor? This morning
Yeah.
you did take a long trade?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was long and I folded for just above the high as it came in. That the first red candle that you had there on your chart. That's
Oh,
where I
yeah,
closed there.
sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
I
Yeah.
know. That
So
was a good trade.
Yeah, it was the actual low, and it was very just much the gap. We have a small time frame gap from the open, and it was time confluence as well. I like the 7 a.m., which is just pre-London. So you had the confluence with that, find some buyers in, and I was anticipating it to go a little bit higher, but I was happy to get stopped out in profits, and I did the same on NQ. NQ did run a little bit further, but I was happy to close it early because we had the PPI coming in as well, and I was preparing for the stream.
Beautiful.
So yeah, my best trade was this morning. Trades. Just looking here. We've got 46 seconds. Then we can do some questions and then wrap it up later. But I'll still see if we can, find a trade in here. Not going to force anything.
Yep. Smash those likes if you're enjoying the content. We'd appreciate that. Is there music running at the moment?
No.
Oh, no music.
Yeah, because of the copyrights, we can't.
That's why.
Yeah. I mean, I could try, but
well, we don't want to get in trouble.
It can get taken down later.
Yeah, on YouTube they'll take it down.
Yeah.
Best not to risk it.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they said, okay, you can pay a yearly fee or something, a small fee to pay for those copyrights, and then the people whose music you use can get paid off that. Maybe that's something they could even put on the blockchain.
That would be nice. I don't mind paying.
Nice. I would pay a small fee for music.
Yeah. Right, there you go. We've got the session open now.
It opened right at the low of C.
Yeah. Not much confluence there.
NQ bouncing off a session point of control.
Yeah, I've just noticed that. ES is bouncing from the 50 or trying to get back inside that 50 SMA. See if they the bears regain control of the downtrend and then go and clean that low on ES.
We've got some nice questions here, so whenever you guys are ready, let me know.
Yeah, let's do the questions, and I'll keep an eye here, and if I see a trade, I'll jump on it.
Sounds great. And just feel free to interrupt me if you see a trade, or if you see something, say something. It's a good rule. All right, Capricorn is saying, I have a question. I'm very aggressive on short trades if BTC is showing small signs of weakness to hedge, longs, and for spot. I only heard of Severin shorting yesterday. What about Scott and Igor? Igor?
What, shorting BTC?
Shorting BTC, yeah.
Yeah, I prefer to go with the trend, and yes, I can. There's been some epic short calls, and they were nice short calls. I don't have to go into those into detail. But I honestly prefer, and Severin will know this with the highs and lows indicators, I prefer to go with the structure. And as I went over BTC now, we've only just right now saw that first sign of weakness, which is that first previous day low being tapped. So now it's when I can start to think, okay, are we now switching gears? Because up until this point, the longs have paid really well. And if you've been a champion, you know that we've been looking for longs since forever. And I mean, I literally mean it, since 50K. And it's been really good. So you kind of have to take that for what it's worth. But, long trades have been paying really well. So I can short, and I love shorting. And when the shorts start to go, it really goes even quicker than the longs sometimes. But up to now, no shorts for me. But it's starting, but I need the close. I need the close because even when you look at a higher time frame, okay, you will know that if you, let me just go BTC spot. If you put the daily here, okay, you know that just a normal day, we are still not breaking that one time framing lower. So it's still well within a good buying opportunity, because you're literally just coming into that support. RTH CME, then a different story. We've already broken it, but it's still one time framing high. We have not broken it. So, I mean, it's dropping now, but it's still not like the end of the world, especially if you are in positions from much lower. So yeah, I will obviously look at this with a close, because when you put a line chart here, it's still looking okay. But yeah, I don't mind missing the last few crumbs. I'm interested in that big bulk of the move. So yeah, I don't want to be a cowboy or anything like that, catching a knife or falling. Not to say that you did, because your trade is completely different. But yeah, because I know a lot of people just want to go YOLO and short and long and not have that overall concept of what's the actual trend doing and stuff. So different for me. But yeah, we're coming into support there on the Coinbase chart. Like, that is support. It's a daily as well, as you can see there. So that's a daily level that we're coming into. And it's the close that matters. It is the close that matters for me. And typically when everything starts to look bearish, it's when really the opportunity comes. Just like we had down at 50K, between 50 and 53 to 55. We were seeing the opportunities while everybody was really, really bearish. And then suddenly price was just making higher highs, higher lows, doing beautiful back tests. And here we are, nearly at $100,000.
Yeah, and at 50K, really all the stars aligned. That was such an incredible support.
Yeah, especially with the ETF. I mean, it was just so nice to see it. I mean, this is the ETF on, let me just get rid of this. We actually had the beautiful back test of that 50K. I mean, look at it. It's just so perfect. So this is the inception of the ETF on BTC. We go down to $38. We go back up. We spend forever ranging. Okay, we look below, say, no, thank you. Back test. Look at that. That's 50K, which is $50 on this one. And it's just been higher highs and higher lows. Break, gap. So this, up to now, it's still bullish. I mean, this is a bullish chart. Yes, we can do a little pullback, but overall, it's still bullish. Close below the gap, then yes. Then we could say, wow, what a big failure. We might go back inside and spend another 3 years here going sideways. But until then, it's looking okay. Oh man,
Wonderful,
every time I answer the question, I'm missing these moves. I mean, I just saw a nice retest of 87. Too late now.
I hear you. And we're willing to make those sacrifices for you all because we love you and it's enjoyable. So we appreciate you all your questions.
But I need to cover it because it's too perfect. So that's the 6K. Look at the B. I don't know if you can see my screen, but that's yes. And look at the lots. So that's nice. Perfect confluence. And then that's NQ from low to high. There's that nice support. So for me, that's the low risk and that's the trade into the highs. So I was looking in the wrong place. But yeah, good to see that it works. Did you take the trade? I know.
I didn't. No. Yeah. I was also waiting.
Yeah, same here. Well, before we miss another trade, the question from Rakamov is coming through saying, do you guys mind sharing why you use the BTC USD Bybit chart?
Yes, because the order flow, I'll open my chart, and I feel like I'm going to miss that trade now on ES again, but I'll share this because it's interesting. I'll just need to let it load completely. So bear with me for a second. I'll put it down here and then I'll share it. Let it cook its thing. Takes a couple of minutes. Just looking at ES here while that's loading. A fancy trade. Yeah, and there you go. BTC actually coming into that nice support. So this is order flow on BTC. So, this is Bybit. Bybit has a really good order flow. So for example, this move down, okay, it's not actually that bearish. We actually have open interest coming down with price. So this is just liquidations, money leaving the markets late, or like late longs that long the top getting stopped out because they just can't withstand the the downside anymore. But you've gone from 1.175 down to 1.35, so that's quite a big drop on open interest, and there's the stacked imbalances coming in, so 2 million, 3 million, 2 million. So it's very much like the Coinbase chart gives you that nice order flow. It's quite busy, this template, but it gives me everything I need to know. So again, this is support until it's broken, right? So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye here. But why Bybit? It's because it's got really good order flow, and it's always really well respected. And look, this drop here, this is just a it's money leaving the market. So it's not like it's new shorts and they're going to really push this down like you see for example with the longs. So this is new longs, and then this is like take profits, and then this is just liquidations into VWAP support. So just keep an eye on that. It's not bearish basically. That it's annoying to miss those trades. I think you mute there, maybe, Scott, if you were talking.
Yep, I just saw another little retest there on ES.
Yeah, I missed it. I'm going to try and go back in now. Aim for the highs.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got sound. Sound is good.
Some people asking about the Ethereum long trade. So there is a 30-minute SFP of range low. However, we didn't take the naked point of control. Also, open interest is not looking amazing, so I prefer to wait a little longer.
Nice one. Yeah, I tell you what, if the next 30 minutes close on BTC closes back inside 88 on Coinbase, then it's looking okay. I would say, yeah, keep an eye where we are right now, because it's a nice place, and we've gone from the 7.5 down to the 2.5, so it's a good, basically, support level.
Yep. Agree. We're into these almost to the 7.86, not quite, but probably into the 7.5 easily from the local range.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any more questions?
Yes, a couple more here that I think are really good.
Okay.
One from Kabassing. Maybe both of you guys can weigh in on this one because it's a really good question. Do you have any tips on how to better manage your trades in psychology? I tend to deviate often quite a lot from my plans due to FOMO and whatnot. Any tips on how to better manage trades in psychology?
Yeah, I think we covered this yesterday, or we've spoken about it, but I don't know. I mean, it's always hard to talk about something if you don't know the person, the style, the trading, what type is it. But I would say it all starts with that nice plan, because when you have that plan, you then will be a little bit more patient to wait for those things to trigger, or that system. Like today, for example, we've been looking, but it's just not quite there. So we've taken a couple of minuscule losses, but it's not the end of the world, because it's just tiny losses, right? But it's just waiting for or having that plan. And if it's not quite there, don't force it, because there's going to be another day tomorrow, and another week next week, and another month next month, right? So you can't measure yourself in 1 day or 2 days. It's going to be a long term. But having that plan, like we do every day, and Scott, you do it, Severin, you do it. You just have to be consistent and do it every day. Just mark your levels, mark your values, everything, and then just trigger or go for it when you see the trade. And just record everything, like build those statistics. You've got Severin here who is amazing at statistics, and I've been as well. I recorded everything, and I got to a point where I had so many stats, And it's just nice to have them, like, weekly highs and lows and days and the sessions, the times. Like, for example, the long trade on BTC this morning was perfect because it was right at that nice kickoff start. It was very much like time and price being boxed in, and I was like, yep, take it. And yeah, $1,200, and this is it. So just having that solid plan. So if you can have that plan, all right, this is what I'm looking for consistently, just apply every day, and that will, help you with that kind of like psychological, because then you know exactly what went wrong and what and when, and you can accept it. It's easier. So if you don't have a plan,
Beautiful.
And you're just throwing, oh, okay, I'm going to buy because I can. Well, that's not the attitude. You have to buy because there's A reason and B reason, and everything aligned. So if that's the case, then go for it, take the trade. If it's a loser, well, there's another day tomorrow, there's another trade around the corner. Or like earlier, like the trade was still valid. And we were looking, to be fair, we were looking for that run below the 6, but it just ran a little bit deep down to the 92s in the end, 93s. But it was kind of there, what we were looking for. Go below the 6, touch the 97 into 95s, and then go back inside. Well, that kind of like played, but it didn't play exactly on the sequence that I wanted. We had that RTH low, which was front run. So again, a little kind of like, is it complete? Is it no? So it gives you like a little cloud. It's not quite there yet. So when you have all of those things, okay, well, I better stay out. And yeah, just have a plan. Like if it's not clear, don't take it. It either works or it doesn't.
Like that, yeah, I can only agree to having a daily plan is the key, really. And in the beginning, I would always suggest to only stick with the predefined levels, because what you will find is that these levels tend to be the good trades, and the trades you take in between are the ones who are screwing you over. So that is one advice I can give you. And also, for me, it did take a little bit of mental work as well, as in meditation and really working on reflecting my trades and all that. So I was struggling with holding on to my trades in the beginning, because I've taken so many losses while I was learning. And then I always closed my trades a little bit too early. So I really had to work on visualizing how I am holding a trade till it hits take profit without me adjusting it. So it was actually not the easiest process, but with a little bit of work, yeah.
Yeah, a tip for that is go walk the dog.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, but I always found myself, yeah, sometimes it makes sense to leave the PC, but
your best trades are the trades that you sweat. Like when it comes down,
that's what you like to say. That's true.
Yeah, it starts to linger and doing and like grinding, and it's like you start to sweat. It's like, oh, is it going to play? Is it not? Just go take a walk. You've got your risk in place. That's it. And yeah, as you said, it takes a long time to overcome that, but you do.
And for the FOMO aspect of it, I've recently done something a little different. I got a little hourglass, and it's got 3 minutes timer. And so if I take a couple losses and I'm really not feeling the market, I'll just put my little hourglass on and then stop myself from trading, because I know that if I get into that habit of just taking another trade, taking the same idea, repeating the same idea over and over again, eventually it will lead to either major stop loss or hitting a daily drawdown. And so just to have a way to pump the brakes, have some sort of hard stop that could just shift your mindset a little bit from, I need to make that back, to, all right, where's the next good trade? Because that's really what we need to be focusing on, not making money or making your losses back, but actually finding just that one good trade to get you back on track. So that would be my suggestions there too.
Very nice.
We do have a few other questions here, but I'm not sure how we are doing on time. If you guys need to run or anything, just let me know.
I have 10 minutes and then we can wrap up.
Okay, beautiful. Let's do a couple more cues here. Wow, very active today. Thank you all. Okay, this is a good question from Chris. Igor, but BTC USD has 5 times more volume than BTC USD. Why are we preferring the USD pair?
BTC USD where? With USDT
Bybit, yeah.
On Bybit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And that's because the market, like a lot of the traders that used to trade the USD have left. But I don't check the USDT, to be fair. But I know on the USD, every time the things I look for, which is open interest, it kind of like follows price. So if you have open interest up and price up, it's a solid move. And there's obviously, we could go into a whole lesson here. But the things I look for, the USD, just and that's why I've always used it, because it just gives me what I need. And to be fair, I've not checked that on the USDT, but I can. It will just take some time, because obviously I can't do that overnight. It will take quite a bit of time. But yeah, it can be done. But I don't think it will be as nice and clean as the USD, where we get that nice, convergence between the asset and the price. So that's what I like about the USD.
Me too. Also, the actual Bitcoin is trading on the USD pair, the perpetual pair, and the USDT pair is just trading USDT. So I prefer to track the one that is actually trading the BTC and tracking that price closest. So for me, that's the one. Okay, Mr. Severin, question from M, and maybe our last question. What reaction do you look for when price is hitting your level, Severin?
But by the way, just to stop, because you said if you take it, I've just pushed a long trade on BTC. So let's see if we can push out of this. I've just pushed a long here on BTC. So stop just below this low here. Let's see if we can push. It's just looking okay-ish. I like that we hit the daily and coming back inside. So let's see if we can push. ES and NQ is just honestly not playing ball today for my side. But yeah, let's see.
ETH is also looking better now with this move away from range low.
Mm-hmm. But it kind of needs to go. It needs to go back inside the range really quickly, and then we can get that expansion to the upside.
And my reaction, so I have a scalping strategy that I released over on our website, and I explain my entire scalping strategy. I have a altcoin strategy as well, and in these strategies I explain exactly what I want to see for taking the trade. So when I have a predefined level I'm interested in, I know exactly what I'm looking for. I obviously can't share that here on a public stream, but if you want to know about that, that's all within CC. So I have my scalping strategy with all the entry criteria I'm looking at. It's like a yes or no answer. I have a couple of things I want to see. If I see that, it's valid to take the trade. If not, I'm simply staying out. I have the same for altcoins, as well as a long-term stock market strategy where I explain exactly how I am investing in stocks and how I'm managing my positions for the long term.
It's like a cheat sheet, isn't it?
Yeah.
If this, then that.
It's working. Exactly. It's working really well, because that is what I found. What most traders struggle with is when the level is hit, do you actually take the trade? Do you not take the trade? Some people enter too early. Some people wait for too long, and the trade has already gone too far away from entry. So what I wanted to do with my strategy is to really boil it down to a system where you get a pretty decent entry, but wait for enough confirmation that it's worthwhile to take the trade. And the feedback has been really good. So I know many people who are using the strategy. So,
yep,
I myself included.
Yeah, nice.
All right. Well, apologies to everyone we didn't get to your question. Please hang on to those. And if you're in the chat, feel free to tag us and we'll try to respond there. But I think we're wrapping up towards the end of our time, as some of us have to go. But wanted to just say a big thank you to everyone who's tuning in. It really warms my heart to see so many people interacting and chatting. And the vibe is really shifted from the last times we were doing these live streams on YouTube. So I really appreciate every single one of you being here, and a big thank you to Coach Igor and Coach Severin for allowing me to join and give my 2 cents and trade alongside them. So it's been an honor and a pleasure, and I hope to see you all again tomorrow for another session of live trading, fast markets.
Brilliant.
Very nice.
I'll just finish by touching on, I just saw the comment about silver, and it was nice to see it come back down to retest and then obviously going. That's a really good trade. I would have preferred it just to see a little bit below, but, well done for the person who got that. There's a nice trade here. I would try and hold this for a little bit higher, right into the 30.7 or 80s. You could potentially get another little push higher there. But yeah, BTC here. it just looked really good down here. I know we are losing the trend line, but like I said, we came straight into that daily down here. So if I go just back to the daily, you can see we're at support, and this is why I love, I know it's probably not going to really show on your screen there, so I'm going to put the candles, and you can see that we've come down into this kind of like support. We are still one time framing higher. We've got this kind of a clean move now. Look at that, it is very clean. So this is support until it's broken, and for that we need the close. So we're coming into a time of day where potentially we could just stall a little bit but find that little reversal. And when you go down to a lower time frame, you can see that we've taken the low. We are still an inside day, so in relation from yesterday's high to yesterday's low, we are inside. When you pop the fib from high to low, you can see that we are right at that 786 to 75 zone. This is always a zone where you don't want to be selling, as well as up here you don't want to be buying. And look, it was kind of like perfect, to be honest. In hindsight, I just felt like we could still push higher, but yeah, when you come back down into this kind of like support, just go down on a 1 minute chart and say, okay, do we get that nice retest, which we did down here? So that needs to hold, comes back inside, you want to take that trade and hold it for higher. At the moment, BTC is actually moving really nice, so these trades are good. So I waited a little bit to see at least this candle come back up. Okay, so similar to Severin's strategy, and currently up $400 on that. So I can move my stop into, you know, break even now, or a little bit better, and just let this do its thing, and just monitor to see, okay, do we get that acceptance back inside? So that's what's happening here. It would be nice to get a little expansion. The ES trade is still kind of like playing. It's not going to plan. But yeah, it's just very slow today. I really wanted to see that go and do a full rotation to the 20s, but it's just really slow. But sometimes you're going to get this, and it's just the market telling you today is not your day. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you, Severin, for popping in and saying hello to us. Always a pleasure to have you on. Scott as well, same thing, honestly. And tomorrow, yes, we will be back for another fast market session. 2 p.m. Shall we do it 2 p.m?
Yeah,
or
that's
2:30?
what we're going to do probably.
All right, let's do that then. So we'll see you all back here tomorrow, same time. So between 2 and 4 p.m. UK time. What's that your time there?
That Scott? Is 9 to 11 a.m. New York time.
Perfect. Sure. And hopefully we'll get some nice volatility. And let's crash it. We'll be the three of us, right? Is Daniel joining us? No, maybe not. We can ask him.
Maybe Coach Daniel will pop in for a few.
Yeah,
give us his take on BTC. Great.
Yes. And that's it. So thank you for tuning in, everybody. Severin, do you want to say a few words?
No, yeah, sorry for interrupting your stream.
No, don't. Anytime.
Never apologize.
That was fun. So looking forward to tomorrow's stream. Wish you all a great day. And I'm going to take a little break now. Markets are pretty slow where we are now. I can see Nasdaq ES in a tight range. I will be back in about 1 hour or something, and then update or post some trades in the futures chat over on our Discord. So see you all over there, and have a great day. Goodbye.
Perfect. Yeah, for me, I'm just going to trail this up as we are still on live stream. I'm just going to trail it up, and at this point, just look for a little bit higher. I can see the 10s thickening up there, so we could potentially get those 10s, but you know, it's just not going to plan. So I might as well just kind of like put it at break even. BTC now, I will just trail this slow and steady. If we come back below those lows there inside that 41.35s, I want to be out, but it would be nice to just get that run up. So all of the traders that were earlier shorting into that weekly view up, I'll make this thicker so that you can see. So that's the weekly view up there. Let me just make this on the line. You probably will be able to see. There you go. So all the traders that shorted into the weekly VWAP down here, you can see. So there's 73 plus 46. So all of those silly bears. If we can then now close back above it, goes without saying, then we can see that little squeeze back up to VWAP of the day, and that's a nice trade there. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and I will see you tomorrow for another fast market session. Thank you and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.